for my new TV show. Kidding. Today we are filming something for my book launch. I'm still kind of like, I don't really know what we're doing with it, so we'll find out from Charlie later. And you guys will then find out too. But we are filming a 6-part series that will be accessible to you at some point. That is like looping in with my book as well, which is very exciting. That's what we're doing today. We're going to get lots of behind the scenes footage, hopefully get a few other bits and pieces that we can use for content so it's just in the bank. And then we have a meeting with my publisher, and that's everything. Yeah. Wow, I'm a bit tired today. I thought I would run you guys through what we did yesterday on this shoot. And yeah, so, and just kind of like run through the day and give you a little bit of an update on things. So my book is coming out in February, which is super exciting. So yesterday we did this shoot for like as part of the kind of whole lead up to the book, marketing efforts to the book. It's like expanding my outreach through different outlets for the book, for the business, whatever. Like it's all kind of one and combined in the, you know, in a way. And then I also met with the CEO of the publishing house that I am publishing the book with, which was also like really cool. I'd met him once before on Zoom, but he wanted to just meet in person because we were coming to New York and whatnot. So that was really nice as well. But what I will say, like you guys know I've done a lot of photo shoots before. I love doing them. Like I've been in studios and like quote unquote on set and all those things a million times, but I really forgot how when you are doing a shoot for the first time, it quite literally takes 5 times. Like it's actually about 5 times as long as you think it will. So we had allocated time yesterday. We thought, okay, these, like all the clips that we're doing, it's gonna basically take 1 hour to film, and that is allocating an extra 30, like we are doubling the amount of time it should take to film. So we thought, okay, this will take like an hour and a half to film what we need for the book. And then we're gonna use the rest of the time. We'll have like an hour of setup, and then we'll have time to film like some just content for reels. And we're gonna film like some other videos for the website and whatever. Well, none of that got done, and not only did none of it get done, we literally were an hour behind, and we ended up having to push the meeting with my publisher back a little bit, which was like fine in the end, but whatever. It was just like, I'm like, this is showbiz. It was super exhausting though, not because I don't even find photo shoots exhausting anymore. It's like when you're doing something for the first time, but for many of you that have worked with me before or done any of my programs, you would kind of get that I am very in flow when I'm talking. Like I'm sitting in my office or I'm sitting in a chair, like, and I always make it have a vibey setup. But I'm gonna kind of like eat a little bit of my food before I get this client call as I talk to you guys. But I am also very much like in a state of flow, right? And sorry, this is kind of loud. And so yesterday, what's that? So anyway, so yesterday, like I was, you know, being kind of like nitpicked for a valid reason, but like I was kind of being nitpicked with like these tiny things. Like I couldn't touch my hair. Every strand of hair had to be perfectly down because of like the white background. Like this was like another level of filming that I hadn't done before. And I'm like, how do fucking actors do this? Like where they have to film these same sentences over and over and over again until you've nailed it. But it's like you make it worse the more that you film it. Anyway, so it was I found it really, really challenging because I purposely try to not memorize stuff. So like before we had this shoot, I had a whole, just get into the better lighting. I had a whole like bunch of notes written down, like a script, but I wasn't planning on following it because I don't like following like heavy notes, because I do just get into that kind of flow. And it also, when something sounds scripted or when someone's reading off a teleprompter, and you can not just, you can tell, it's like you can feel their disconnection from the words, because it's really hard to focus on reading but also like staying looking like you're not reading. And so you feel this like disconnection, and I personally find when I'm consuming that kind of content, it actually feels harder to consume it. Like I don't feel like I'm able to take it in, if that makes sense, because it doesn't feel just like natural. Anyway, whatever. And like you're sitting in funny positions, or like my agent would be like, look here, like, and she's giving me all this direction behind the camera, and I have to like keep thinking of my words. And I should have memorized everything, because maybe if I memorized it, it would have been easier, but I didn't memorize it, which is fine. Like everyone that was on set was like, Monica, these are killer things that you're saying. Like, and my fiance was there, and I'm so glad that he was there, because he knows the difference between like make it better, and that was amazing. And so I feel like I can trust him when he's like, no, it was amazing. Like everything you said was so good, like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, because he will also tell me like, you could have said that better. Let's redo this. Like you've got more in you for that. Say it like this kind of way, because he's heard me speak enough times. Anyway, but it was just like, it was hard because I'm trying to like have all this direction behind me, but I'm also trying to like channel through this beautiful information. And I was like, this was not smart. Like, note to self, the next time I'm doing this, I cannot channel through fucking information. I need to have it memorized to a T. So like when I'm doing, this is great, I'm like, when I'm on TV and when I'm doing these other things, I need to have my shit memorized. I cannot plan that it's just gonna like come through, because the pressure and like everything else that's happening, it just like, I don't know, it does something to my brain. Anyway, that was great. And then I met my publisher, which was also good. And it was actually, what was actually most helpful was kind of getting a bit of a timeline of everything. One of you commented on the reel that I posted, which we can like put here maybe, being like, wow, I had no idea so much goes on behind a book. I'm like, you guys, sorry, you have no idea. Like, I have tried to post bits of the book, and I think I've put bits in like other vlogs as well. This book is 5 years. It took me 5 years to write. You have no idea. I have written this book. This book has been edited twice. We're now going through a whole other editing process. It's been like ripped apart. You know, my agent, like, I love her. She's just brutal, which is what I actually need, because like I can trust brutal people, because they're giving it to me like straight, and they're like, this is, and you just know they're doing an amazing job because they're actually telling you what's going to work. She's like, you've written 3 books in one. So she's like ripped it apart. We're then hiring somebody else. She is then basically like interviewing me a ton, because I'm, as you guys know, I'm a talker, I'm not a writer. So she's interviewing me a ton, and then she's basically going to help me then finish writing the book. Anyway, so I have to like, in the next month, allocate all this time to writing more of the book. I'm like, great, love this. Anyway, it's all going to be good. It's all going to be worth it. And then we obviously have the book launch process. And so my publisher, I'm watching the time for a client, my publisher, yesterday in the meeting, I was like, what is like the timeline? Like, how much time do I have to allocate for this launch? And so he was giving me the loadout, and I was like, damn, this is going to be quite a bit. So anyway, all that to say, I feel like I'm like, some of you know this, like I'm so excited to be a mom, and we're getting married in September, and there's just like so many beautiful things on the horizon. But as more keeps popping up, I'm like, damn, I really cannot, like, it actually becomes unhelpful for me, at least, to put timelines in place sometimes of like, I want this here. I want to fall pregnant on this month. I want to do this then, because doing that can almost hurt me, because it puts this pressure on me to like make that happen. And then if it doesn't happen, then you kind of go into your ego, you go into your head of like, why isn't it happening? Blah, blah, blah. And it literally cannot be happening because it is not the right time for it to happen. But of course we like are so hard on ourselves and whatever. So I was saying to my acupuncturist today, because I went to acupuncture today, we were talking about it. I was like, honestly, after yesterday's meeting, I was like, you know what? After the wedding, we are going to then assess when I want to fall pregnant, because I feel like right now, even though it's only 5 months away, the wedding, it's 4.5 months away, the wedding, May, June, July, August. Yeah, it's 4 months away, 4.5 months. which is like so soon. I'm like, holy shit. Anyway, what I was saying is like, I feel like I just need to reassess things as we get closer to the date and not feel like I have to make this definitive decision right now, but rather just flow with it. And yeah, and some of you need this as well, because we all put these fucking timelines on ourselves when we don't need to, and then we think that we have to like abide by the timeline we set for ourselves 6 months ago, when in fact you could be feeling so different now to how you felt 6 months ago, but you feel like if you don't commit to the timeline, then you're like letting yourself down. Like maybe you are, but also maybe you're not committing to the timeline anymore because it doesn't feel right. Anyway, whatever, that's like a whole other thing. And I know lots of you, I've got a podcast in the works of like everything we're doing to prep our bodies and our minds and our souls and our home and like business and all that stuff for motherhood, because that's like a really exciting thing that is just going on like constantly behind the scenes in terms of the prep work. And it's like, I'm loving the prep work for it, because I'm not just prepping my body and whatnot. I am prepping in terms of my mind, in terms of my capacity, in terms of business. Like, you have no idea how in these different intricate ways I'm prepping. And I can't wait for like when I talk about motherhood and like things I did to prepare, and I probably make a fucking program about it, knowing me, because I have so much goodness that I'm doing in this preparation. And when you understand like traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic medicine, this is something that's been around for the longest period of time in terms of like the mind, body, soul preparation. And anyway, okay, we're getting on a tangent. I gotta go to a call. I hope you guys have a nice day. And I just wanted to kind of give you the overview of everything that you saw or are going to see in this video, depending when this clip gets put in. And this is my view. Oh, is it gonna show? Hold on. This is my gorgeous view. It's kind of like a little bit of a like foggy day or something. My old building is right down the back, the Jenga building. And this is our trashed bedroom. Yep. Shit everywhere. All right. I'm getting on a client call. I'm going to eat some delicious spring bone quickly before I'm just going to have a mouthful before I get on my client call. This is the best food in New York. For all of you coming to my New York immersion, you have to go to Spring Bowl and get the grandma's chicken and rice. It's amazing. What did he get me on the side? My fiance got me this because it's the first day of my period and I needed some food. Oh, more chicken. Maybe that's for him. That's probably for him. Okay. All right. Ciao, everyone.